All right, we're here in the Record offices. It is High School Football Week 0 here with Rich Estrada, Black Hat Football, talking about the Tri-City Athletic League in its third year of its current formation with the rivals St. Mary's Lincoln, West Tracy, Tokay Lodi. Now the prevailing feeling is this is St. Mary's League this year, as it has been the past couple of years. Now a lot of that is because they bring back most of their most vital players. The last 2 years, they've been right on the precipice of greatness. I mean, 2 years ago, a touchdown away from a section title. Last season, almost more impressively somehow, a touchdown away from beating Folsom on his blue turf. That is nearly unheard of. They bring back a ton of those guys. Since Tony Frank's return from UC Davis in 2002, they are 95-12 against San Joaquin County teams. That's another important aspect. Now, that storyline kind of lends itself to, okay, St. Mary's is the inherent favorite. I think no matter what bias or angle you come from, that's just true on paper. But who's number two? I'll let you go first.
Well, I'll tell you what, nobody's number two, okay? There's a third place team. St. Mary's is so good, they should be first and second place in that league. It's as talented a team as I've seen probably since Merced 1990 when they won the state title with Jay Rolla and that group down there. Phenomenal group. The thing with St. Mary's is you know they're going to be loaded on offense. They got the linemen. I was out at practice last week. Norgard is going to be, he's committed in Nevada, which recruited him as an offensive tackle. Oh, wow. So even though he's a defensive end, he's a huge guy, and they're gonna have him playing some tackle. They'll have him basically rotate in and out a little bit. What I love a couple of things, that huge line. They've got him, they've got Popo, they've got Carl Jarrett, they've got other guys on defense.
Yeah, and Jared Carl and Mikey Preflin are both. Jared no, it's okay. We sit on the roster sometimes to see what they count, but those guys are third year on varsity. They're sophomores who were maybe on the sidelines for part of it, but they're against Grant 2 years ago. I mean, that kind of experience, especially for linemen, you can't replicate that.
You go to the skills, loved watching Jake Dunaway. He's got wonderful receivers. You know, Marcus Aponte, anywhere else, he'd probably be a #1 receiver. Over here, good for him though. Because what happens now, when they start playing, okay, Keaton Hampton's getting one DB, Dewey's getting the other. They're going to have a third DB to double team one of them. So if I'm Marcus Aponte, I got the fourth best DB on me. I got a chance to make some noise.
All kinds of open space out of the slot in the middle of the field.
Chasing everybody around. Now the question is defensively, obviously. I love David Ward back in the secondary. He'll be that last line of defense, and they got the whole defensive line is back. But it's at its spot in between. But here's the difference. TCAL, I think St. Mary's outscores everybody. Yeah, I'm looking forward to St. Mary's Lincoln, which I think will be fun. Lincoln, Code Red offense. That's going to be blast to do. I saw some of the scrimmage on Saturday. Love the film out of that. Big year for Aaron Thomas. Yeah, he's going to have to do two things. He's going to have to get his timing down, and he's going to have a quick release because he can't get sacked in that offense. If you get sacked, you fumble, you lose yardage. Tracy's got Josh Alvarado back. That'd be fun. Dom Splan. That's one of the best center quarterback combinations for sure. Tokay, Lodi, West. Don't know. You probably know more about those guys than I do right now.
Well, hard to say. Tokay kind of stands out as maybe a sleeper to me in that league. They got a transfer running back named Corey Glasgow, who used to be at Lincoln a couple years ago. Oh. They're really excited about what he brings to the table. But I really do think it is a big three. To go back what I was talking about, I do think number 2 would be Lincoln. They're just more experienced than Tracy. I do think that could be close, but you got Thomas. I think my most interesting player on that offense is McQuan Maxey, the tight end. The pass-catching tight end is kind of a lost art in most levels of football now, I say excluding the NFL. You don't see a lot, especially in that kind of up-tempo spread, but he's athletic enough to do it. You know, I mean, he's a big kid. He's tall. He's muscular. And you throw that on with Isaiah Celsi now on the outside, it'll be interesting. It's one of those where it's going to be tough for anyone defensively to stop St. Mary's, but as you said, that game, you're adding the rivalry factor and everything that comes with it. Be fun, you know, and to me the way the league swings in terms of playoff bids and that kind of thing is the week before when Lincoln goes to Tracy. That's interesting to me, and I love watching that veer offense in the TCAL because you might get a team with more raw talent than Tracy, but you don't really see that anymore with large schools, and so sometimes you just get flustered as a defense. I mean, those linemen know exactly what they're doing. It's this, I don't even know how to explain it, this tidal wave, and you got Alvarado, a little quarterback who just find his way through little, you know, it's just, I think it's all about matchups and getting and knowing what you're seeing, and I just don't think you're not seeing that much anymore. The Code Red, I feel like defenses are much more prepared for, or at least some type of air raid. I like Lincoln as the number 2, the automatic, but I think Tracy will do well enough. They don't have to play Clayton Valley in the preseason anymore, so I think they'll win 3 league games, probably find their way into the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. I know you didn't want to say number 2, number 3. Who would be? How about this? Who would be your league runner-up if you had to decide today?
Number 2 is I shouldn't go that for things. Second place, I love Lincoln. I've always been a fan of passing games. Everybody knows that. So that code red kind of brings me in a little bit. What I like is I think they have the talent to make it work. Tracy, I got to see who Tracy's running backs are first. Because in that offense, if you have a really good running back, you're going 2-3 deep rounds in the playoffs.
Fun. And on that note, look forward to football. Thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, I always enjoy coming to the record.